We're gonna anchor at Calabash Anchorage. It's supposed to be a nice spot. Now we're reaching to the destination point of the Little River Inlet.
Just inside the Little River Inlet.
We just anchored at Bird Island. It's pretty quiet in here and lots of nature. Looks like a very serene anchorage.
Good morning. We are headed towards Barefoot Landing.
We'd like to stay for a couple hours.
We'd like to see if we can get a dock there. There's lots of mixed information. One book we have says it's free city docks, and another one says it's no longer free, and another one says that there is no overnight docking, and then another one says you can pay for overnight docking. So we don't know what the story is, and they don't open until 11, but it's kind of neat. We're going through this channel here, and they have these like offshore casino boats. Tour boats and casino boats.
We're feeling how warm it is. I had to take my sweater off. It feels so good. It feels so amazing. So we gotta get used to Fahrenheit because we deal with Celsius, not Fahrenheit. Here in the States, everyone uses Fahrenheit.
So the thermometer we bought is in Fahrenheit. It doesn't have a switch to Celsius. So we're gonna learn our Fahrenheits on this trip.
We better learn.
Now 84 degrees feels nice.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Exactly. Whatever that is, it feels good.
Good morning, people. It's a beautiful day. We're in Enterprise Oxbow. The water here is nearly black. I put a release rope on my anchor attached to a buoy, and we must be sitting held just by the anchor chain because you can see that is beside us, not in front of us. It's a very nature reserve kind of area. There's some houses back there because I saw some lights on at night. So anyways, long story short, we are going to try to get to Georgetown today. Our raw water pump is pretty much shot. I have to turn off the seatcock when we stop running the engine just to stop the water from flowing into the bilge. It's literally running out of the pump now through the weeping holes. So the seal is just totally shot, and I'm trying to contact somewhere. Marinas in Georgetown don't have the part. So I'm going to be trying to order one today. I was frantically calling places to see if I can get one overnighted to a marina in Georgetown. And if we can get that, hopefully by Monday at the latest, we will be back on our way. It's looking like Florida for Christmas is out of the question now because I don't even know, today's already like the 19th, I think. And we're about halfway. A lot of ground to cover unless we get a perfect weather system. Then we'll just head offshore and do, one or two overnighters, and perhaps we can get there. So that's where we're at. Really need a water pump. My spare water pump was also shot, so I had a very bad spare pump, and I'm looking to just buy a brand new one now. They're like $700. I've already ordered the rebuild kits to have sent to my mother's place in Florida, so I will rebuild one or two of the pumps that I have, or perhaps just put all the best parts together to make one good pump, so I have one good spare. So that's where we're at. We're gonna start motoring soon, and hopefully get there before nightfall and not have to pump out our bilge too many times. Yesterday was about 5 pumps, so wish us luck. Oh, update soon.
Good morning, everyone. Today we're in a situation. So we're continuously pumping out the water from our water pump that's broken and it's a replacement. We thought we got it covered, but now it needs more attention than we thought. So we're now trying to contact places to see if we can get one delivered before Christmas time, because we want to get to Florida, and we're in South Carolina right now. Yeah, we don't have a water pump. Mike constantly pumps out the water that our bilge is getting. It's a lot of water. Every hour he has to be pumping out, half an hour to an hour.
Logs.
And dodging logs, because this river is kind of dirty and it has a lot of logs everywhere. At least
logs and branches, and they're so waterlogged that sometimes logs look like a branch and sometimes branches look like a log until you're right beside it or right over it.
At least it's deep enough that we can zigzag in here. But yeah, keep tuned. Hopefully we can make it to Georgetown and we can find a solution for our water pump situation. That looks like a plant in the water. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to make it to Florida for Christmas, because Monday is the 23rd already and Christmas is 2 days after, so let's see. It's called Transatlantic 804, or if they know anywhere where we can get it for like fast shipping or whatever.
Oh, baby. Honey, I felt that thud. As you can see, Mary hit her head real hard.
Yeah, we've been calling places to see if we can get a water pump. Now it doesn't matter how much it costs, we just need a water pump before Monday.
The prices really vary from like $400 to $900.
I know, like the $500 place doesn't even answer the phone, the $800 place doesn't have it available, and we have like 3 places that are gonna call us back, but we haven't gotten any calls because we're using VoIP. It's an internet phone number, so yeah, probably we're getting calls back and we're not just getting it because we don't have internet, baby.
Probably in like another hour we'll be closer to the city and we'll get some better service.
And this book anchorages along the intercoastal waterway. I've seen it on Amazon. It has been very helpful. This is a very old version that our buddy boat gave us. Thank you so much.
Written by Bob423, and Bob, you're watching, thank you very much, because we've been following your track all the way down here, and it has kept us in the water instead of on the land.
If it wasn't for this and the Bob's track, we would have been lost, because there's a lot of variants on this ICW that you don't have no idea. Like now, I know I love more going out offshore sailing than being on channels. 100%. There is nothing to worry about when you're in the water.
I'm not worried about running aground, hitting logs so much.
Oh, just a piece of my skin with hair.
Oh, baby.
Haha.
At least it's nice and warm out.
Yeah, that's something that I'm enjoying, because if it was cold, it would have been a miserable day. We don't even know where we're gonna spend our Christmas, so.
This is LTE, but it's low signal, so maybe we're getting closer to civilization. Miles and miles of swamp. It smells even a little swampy. Maybe we're not finding a pump because I'll be able to fix it myself somehow. It's gotta be for a reason.
Goodbye.
Oh, it's gotta be for a reason.
I'm getting commercials there now.
Yeah, it sounds like a YouTube commercial. Hello, everyone. We're in Georgetown waiting for our part. Mary was lucky to have some visitors come from North Carolina to visit us, and we are going to be receiving the parts for the water pump by tomorrow. So this is what I'm dealing with. This is my spare one that always leaked, and the old impeller wouldn't come out. I had to take the shaft out and hammer the old impeller out after peeling all the blades off. So you can still see the little ring there for the seal. The seal came off, but not the ring that encased it. So I'm going to take that off, clean this all up, and get this prepared for that kit coming tomorrow. I got the other body cleaned out, and now I pulled off the impeller pump assembly that's on the motor currently, and this shaft won't come out either. Trying to get this propeller in was snug. I tapped it in with a hammer, and then I thought that was just because of the blades, the friction of the blades sliding into it because they're very tight. I was unable to get it out with the impeller, so I actually took tapped it right backwards out with out of the assembly, and the impeller's still tight on this shaft. So now trying to use a little Dremel and a grinder. I think the tip here is mushroomed a little bit, but even as I'm sliding it back, it's got friction on it. I had to do the same thing to this one. On the old one, this would slide in backwards, but then when I got to the end where it's supposed to actually be, it was very tight, and this is the direction it goes, so it would never have gotten in there. Having the same problem with both of them, so this is my fix for it is shaving down a slight taper on the ends, which probably isn't even tapered. It's probably just going to be making it straight. Hopefully a little bit of a taper make it easier to get in. I don't think these should be so difficult to get in and then impossible to get out. It's starting to come back out now. Hopefully if I polish this up more, I'll be able to pull it out. This puller would not work at all. I'm hoping now maybe I got enough taken off of it.
Working.
I might not have the exact right size puller. I don't know. I won't use that time. I probably should have been in the first place. Instead, hours of mucking around, hammering and lubricating and torches. Now I gotta keep cleaning up this end until that thing actually just slides on. The seal doesn't even look damaged. Why was this thing leaking so bad? Let's try popping this bearings out. I don't know. The seal's not even damaged looking. Okay, so discovered where it failed because the rubber seal looks fine, and if you look at these two shafts, you'll see this is right here where the rubber seal goes. That's the same spot on this one. There's a groove dug out of there, and as I took it apart, I saw a chunk of metal fall out. What that was the casing of the bearings. You can see inside.
It's very hard to see.
Yeah, let's see if I can angle this just right. If you look on that one side past the rubber seal, you don't see the ball bearings. If you look on this side past the rubber seal, you can see the ball bearings. There, you can see the bearings there, but on this side you don't because it is broken off. That's really hard to get on camera. Anyways, that is my issue. So we do not have two good shafts now. We barely have one good shaft because the one has bad threads on it and the other one has a groove dug out of it from a broken piece of bearing. But the seal is still okay on this one. So I'm not sure why this one was even leaking. The seal feels okay. So yeah, that's where we stand right now. So this was the inner bearing, and this was the condition of it. I mean, it was stacked on top of each other with the seal on the one side and the inner chase, and then this piece, this excess piece, broke off of the other side, which already fell out. And I'm quite sure that a piece of this got wedged underneath the rubber seal and carved that groove like that, and that's what was causing all the water to pour out. It was wedged under there. So that bearing is pooched, and we have some new bearings coming, and this one looks like it's in better condition, so I'm going to continue cleaning this one up. I'm just going to put the best of all our parts together, and then we'll buy a spare pump when Sherwood decides to make them again. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but they have not had any pumps available almost this whole year. Places I contacted says they've had them on order since May and have still not received them, and no ETA. So they have no idea when they're going to arrive. So we got to make one good one that'll hopefully last us years. If not, but when they do become available again, I will be quick to purchase a complete pump. Unless anybody knows of an aftermarket that is a bolt-on replacement for this, please let me know because I will buy that.
Comment below.
Comment below if you happen to know where to get one of those. Until then, I'm going to keep making do with what we have.
Because we need to get down to the Bahamas. Yeah, it's like 1 degree. So we're gonna go for a long walk because we got a provision. We need to get out of here. We thought it was gonna be warmer, but it's not. So we just got back from doing groceries and we finally got the shipping that we've been waiting for, which is the rebuilding kit for the water pump. And this is it. Mike is gonna rebuild the whole thing.
We have 2 of them, 1 for each pump. First to first, figure this out.
We just left Georgetown. It was a beautiful town. Fortunately, we don't have any footage of it because we were enjoying it too much and we just forgot the camera, right?
Yeah, we didn't do too much. We went out for dinner one night with various friends, and then the following day we walked to the Walmart for some groceries and took an Uber back. And then the next day we got our part and fixed the boat. Oh no, same day got the part and fixed the water pump. So then the following morning, which brings us to today, we went to the marina that was kind enough to let us order the part to and filled up our fuel and our water because it is almost Christmas and a lot of places will be shut down. A lot of marinas will be shut down for a week or two. So
it's always good to stock up on gas and water
for a holiday, for sure. Don't want to be stuck in a river waiting for waiting for the holidays to end to get some fuel.
Water especially, because water is very important. Imagine not having water to drink.
Yeah, we would run out of water long before fuel. One day a water maker.
So today it's raining outside. It looks pretty shitty, so we're not gonna do a long of a sail. We're just gonna do 15 nautical miles. Yeah, we're planning to do 30, but we woke up late into this weather and it's not pretty at all.
It's really hard to get out of a bed when the only warmth you felt for 24 hours was in that bed. And the minute you step out of that bed, you are cold again.
Yeah, it's so cold, people.
It's hard to get out of the bed in the morning. By the time we were on the water, it took about an hour to fill up our fuel and our water because our tanks were all thirsty. It took up nearly an hour to do all that, so we weren't actually motoring until about 11 o'clock. It's like the latest we've ever left. So we decided to do the short day, and we're going to go to South Sante River, which is only, like Mary said, about 15 miles away, and camp out for the night so that we can hit the next part on a higher tide, because tides are imperative around these parts. Like these rivers we go down, they barely have enough water under the keel for our boat, and on low tide they don't at times. So we really have to time our stops and our miles so that we can get going the next day in a spot that's low under a high tide, because the tide's at its highest around 8:30, 9 o'clock this time of year. Yeah, if we could actually get out of bed earlier and leave at like 7, that would give us a lot more high tide, because the tide would be still coming in, it would peak and then be coming. It's going to get warmer in a couple of days. Looking forward to that, because we've been very cold for 3 days.
That's funny. We were having dinner
In our t-shirt.
in our t-shirts, and the next day we're in this attire. So it's just crazy.
Amazing the palm trees still live in this weather.
I know.
1 degree above freezing when we wake up in the morning. That's pretty cold.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it to Florida for Christmas time. Well, we just got 4 days. What do you think was gonna happen in 4 days?
In 4 days, if we had perfect weather, we head offshore and we just go straight there.
But that's gonna take a couple of days.
It's still going to take, 2 or 3 days of sailing, maybe 2 full days, 1 extra day or something. It'd get us a heck of a lot closer than these 15-mile days in cold, shallow channels.
Yeah.
Listening to the diesel, smelling the diesel fumes.
I hate the diesel smell, by the way. When it smokes, it's horrible. When the wind is coming on our stern, yeah, it doesn't smell very pretty. So that's something I don't look forward to. Keep tuned and see you when we anchor at
South Sante River.
South Sante River. Peace out. Good morning. It's cold. We ended up anchoring in this area. It was very rocky last night, and we're just off early. See if we can get a lot of miles done today, because it's not getting any better. Well, I mean, it's gonna be like 15 degrees. It's supposed to be warmer today, but we're just getting ready to go. What was that, baby?
This number came off again last night.
Oh, yeah, it was rocking like crazy.
It just came off. I don't know how to get that thing to stay on. I put more chain on it so that there's more weight on it, but we move around a bunch of times and it falls off. Anybody can let me know. That kind of hook, it's a chain hook bought at West Marine, and the chain fits over it perfectly, but when you shift back and forth overnight, it just slips off. Even if I put enough chain that it's hanging on it on both sides. Luckily, I always put a double snubber here, because I don't trust that hook.
Yeah, if you know anything about it, just please comment below.
I'd like to know how to get that thing to work properly. It was bought right at West Marine. Unless I bought the other, I really want one of the long ones.
Yeah.
It's like a long hook, so it's not so easy to fall off. But that crappy design falls off all the time. Watch yourself, baby. Where's the chain underneath us?
Again.
Underneath us. We're surfing over top of the chain.
That's why it was so rocky.
Like, how does that even work? I don't understand that.
As always, thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it happen for you. See you next week, and don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. It really means a lot to us.